Hello students. Last week we completed fifth poem of section second, and let's continue poem 6. Poem number 6, that is money. Money. Try to understand the value of money. It's written by William Davies. Money. Let's introduce about the poet. William Davies. William H. Davies was a Welsh poet and writer. He spent a significant part of his life as a tramp or hobo. Tramp means homeless. So, he spent a significant part of his life as a tramp or hobo in the UK and the United States. He became a peddler and street singer in England. After several years of a wandering life, he published his first volume, The Soul's Destroyer and Other Poems. So, just we completed the introduction about poet. Let's continue about poem. The poem means this poem, money. This poem tells us about the rich man who wants to be a poor man to find the real happiness. It is when we do not have money. It is when we do not have money or have lost our money. We realize how important the money is. At the end, the poet says that now he doesn't have money. He has true friends, though they may be few. So, try to understand the value of money. So, try to understand the poet actually experienced the difference in the life of a rich man and a poor man. The theme of the poem is the effect of money on the behavior of people. False friends are plenty. When a man has money, the poet compares himself to a child with a trumpet. He is not allowed to blow it, for there has been a death. He uses simile again and again when the poor man's wife is described as humming about busily like bee. Money. This poem is divided in total 5 stanzas. Each stanza has 4 lines. Money. When I had money, money, oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. Till I went poor. For many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. Then felt I like a child. Second stanza. Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. Because a man is dead, I dared not speak to let this false world know. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. So when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown, poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. When I had money, money, oh, my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money. Oh, my friends are real though very few. Continue first stanza of the poem. When I had money, money, oh. First line. Try to understand this figure of speech. When I had money, money, oh. It's repetition. Line number 1, this one, and 17. 17. That is first line of fifth stanza and first line of first stanza. When I had money, money, oh. It's a repetition. repetition, repetition. This line is repeated. That's why repetition. When I had money, money, the thing money, it's absent here. So it's called apostrophe. Next figure of speech, that is apostrophe. When I had money, oh, it's apostrophe. I knew no joy till I went poor. Till I went poor. I knew no joy till I went poor. It's alliteration. I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. The poet tells us about his past when he had money, but he found true joy when he became poor. Because when he was rich, he was surrounded by many unreal friends, many pretended friends. So the poet tells us about his past when he had money. But he found true joy. He wants true joy when he became poor. Because when he was rich, he was surrounded by many unreal friends. So try to understand the first stanza of the poem. Here at the very beginning of the poem, money states that he had no happiness when he had money. When he had money, he had no happiness. He had to keep it hidden from those people who pretended to be his friends, who pretended unreal friends, that is, pretended to be his friends. Okay? Second line. I knew no joy till I went poor. For many false men as a friend came knocking all day at my door. So, when he became poor, he had money, but he found true joy. Then he compares. When he was rich, he was surrounded by many unreal friends. Okay? Let's continue second stanza of the poem. Then felt I like a child that holds. First line of second stanza. Then felt I like. Actually, observe this first line of second stanza. Actually, it's not a correct prose order. Felt I like a child, think I. Observe this line. Felt I like a child, think I. The order of words. Now, the correct prose order is I felt like a child, I think. It's reversed for effect. For poetic effect, the poet uses this poetic construction. Then felt I like a child that holds. So it's called inversion. This figure of speech is called inversion. Felt I like a child. Like a child. The poet compares himself with a child. Using the words like or as, it's called simile. Like a child, the poet compares himself with a child. Then felt I like a child that holds. That holds. A trumpet that he must not blow. A trumpet that he must not blow. Now it's a metaphor. It's an example of a metaphor. That is comparison without using the words, that is as and like. A trumpet that he must not blow. Now the poet indirectly compares man and humanity. A trumpet that he must not blow because a man is dead. I dared not speak to let this false world know. The poet, in this second stanza, the poet gives the example of a child with a trumpet that he can't blow. He can't blow it to refer to his own lack of freedom during his days of richness. He couldn't reveal to the false people around him of his situation. So then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. So he had to keep it hidden from those people who pretended to be his friends. He felt like a child who was given a trumpet but told he cannot blow it because there has been a death. He was afraid of being cheated by those who called themselves his friends, and that's why he couldn't reveal to the false people around him of his situation. Next stanza, that is third stanza. Much have I thought of life and seen. Now it's also called inversion. For poetic effect, the poet use this line. Actually, it's not a correct prose order. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their voices do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. Morn till night. Third line of third stanza. And how their wives do hum like bees. The word hum, H-U-M, the word hum initiates, sorry, and how their wives do hum like bees. It's onomatopoeia. Do hum like bees. The word hum imitates imitates the humming of bees, that is the sound of bees, humming of bees. So it's called onomatopoeia. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do like bees about their work from morn till night. Now the poet has thought continually about life and has found out that the poor people are happier at heart despite toiling hard all day. So here the poet, he was afraid of being cheated by those who called themselves his friends. Since then, he has pondered on the true meaning of life. When he was wondering, then he know about it. That is the true meaning of life. When he has pondered, he has watched how those who do not possess much money are light-hearted, and their family life is so happy. Poor men are able to laugh easily, while the rich are worried. Poor men are able to laugh easily because they can understand the true meaning of life, while the rich people are worried. This makes the poet wonder that it is the rich who should experience poverty and not the poor who should become rich. Next, fourth stanza. Many friends. Fourth stanza. So when I hear these poor ones laugh. Fourth stanza. So when I hear these poor ones laugh, and see the rich ones coldly frown. Now, first and second line of this fourth stanza. Try to understand it. When I hear these poor ones laugh, poor ones laugh, poor ones laugh, and rich ones frown, rich ones coldly frown. First two lines of fourth stanza. It's called antithesis. Antithesis. Anti means opposite. Opposite ideas are there. Poor ones laugh. Rich, poor and rich, opposite words. Laugh and frown, opposite words. Poor ones laugh, rich ones frown. The poor smile and the rich frown. The rich people are worried and the poor people who smiles. This is opposite of what we expect. Actually, what we expect, it's opposite. This condition is completely opposite. So it's called antithesis. So when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown, the poet now here visualizes the poor men laughing and enjoying life. The poor men who are laughing and enjoying their life, while the rich ones as being unfriendly and constantly worried. They are so dissatisfied. This makes the poet think that it's not as important for the poor men to become rich as it is for the rich men to become poor, because it seems that only when one is poor can only really enjoy life and find true happiness. Fourth stanza. When I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown. Poor men think I need not go up. Now try to understand next two lines of fourth stanza, that is third and fourth lines. Poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. Poor men need not go up. Poor men, rich men. Completely opposite words. Next, go up and come down. Again, completely opposite words. Now there are completely contradictory ideas in these two lines. Poor men need not go up. The rich men should come down. It's called antithesis. The rich must know. The rich must know, simplicity says the poet. The opposite of what we say, that the poor must come up in their life. The rich must know means the rich people. They must know simplicity, according to the poet. The opposite of what we say, that the poor must come up in their life. So these are contradictory ideas used by the poet in this third and fourth line of fourth stanza. What we understand here, the poet now visualizes the poor men laughing and enjoying life, while the rich ones as being unfriendly and constantly dissatisfied. So this makes the poet think that it's not as important for the poor men to become rich as it is for the rich men to become poor, because it seems that only when one is poor can one really enjoy life and find true happiness. Next, last stanza, that is fifth stanza. When I had money, money, oh. Now first line of first stanza and first line of last stanza both are repeated here. When I had money, money. Now repetition of the word money. So it's called Repetition. When I had money, money, oh, my many friends proved all untrue. Proved all untrue. Fifth, when I had money, money, oh, my many friends proved all untrue. It's also example of antithesis. Many friends proved all untrue, but they are described as opposite, false and untrue. Both are opposite. Many friends proved all untrue, described as opposite, that is false and untrue. When I had money, money, my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money. Oh, my friends are real, though very few. This last stanza, that is fifth stanza, encapsulates the theme of the poem. Now here the poet brings to light the bright side of his poverty. He says that during his prosperity, his many friends were all unreal. But now that he is poor, he has fewer but real friends. So overall, the poet celebrates his poverty as a source of his true happiness, which he has obtained by earning a small number of real friends. So, by earning small number of real friends, this makes the poet wonder, means in before fourth stanza, this makes the poet wonder that it is the rich who should experience poverty and not the poor who should become rich. Try to understand the linking between these two. Means in this last stanza, he again emphasizes that when he was rich, the people who claimed to be friends, who pretended to be friends, were actually false. Now that he has no money, means now he is poor, he has real friends, but they are fewer. So, this stanza carries the theme of the poem. The poet brings to light the bright side of poet's poverty. He says that during his prosperity, his many friends were all unreal, but now that he is poor, he has fewer but real friends. So, overall, the poet here celebrates his poverty, that is a source of true happiness, which he has obtained by earning a small number of real friends. So, it's a very simple poem. You read it, easily you can understand it. Okay? Now, we want to discuss about the appreciation of the poem. Appreciation of the poem. Appreciation means appreciation of the poem. To appreciate the quality of the poem. Generally, appreciation of the poem is divided in these 8 columns, 8 points. Remember it. Appreciation of the poem. Number 1, title, then poem, poet, theme, style, special features, moral or message of the poem or significance of the poem, and then last point, that is opinion. Opinion means your views. Your opinion is important in this last point. Appreciation of the poem. Let's discuss title. It's appreciation of the poem. Just we completed this poem. Oh, now title. Title, money. Money. Title is key to the general meaning or the summary of the poem. The title of the present poem, Money, gives us a hint that the poem is about the advantages or disadvantages of money, and that we understand after reading that the poem is about the disadvantages of money also. So try to understand the importance of title. Next, poet. Just before explaining or before understanding the poem, we discussed about poet. We introduced about poet. William Davies is the poet who took first-hand experience of the poor person to write his poetry. He traveled like a tramp or hobo, worked as a peddler, and became street singer before publishing his first collection of poetry. Present poem expresses the joy of being poor. So first point, that is title, completed. Second point, poet is completed. And now third point, that is a poem. What type of poem is it? This poem is a narrative poem. Narrator, that is a poet, experiences the real happiness of the life after becoming poor. The narrator also expresses that he had always untrue friends when he was rich. It's only after getting poor he experiences the love of true friends, though they may be few. So, third point completed. Next, fourth point, that is theme. What is the theme of the poem? The poem deals with the experience of the narrator when he was rich and also when he was poor. So try to understand the theme of the poem. This poem, Money, deals with the experience of the narrator when he was rich and also when he was poor. Being a rich person, he could never get the experience of true love of friends, as they didn't knock the door of the friend, but knocked the door of a rich man. But as a poor, he experienced the real joy of life as he got a few but real friends. Fourth point completed. Next, fifth point, that is style. What the poet style has used? What style he has used? The poem has 5 stanzas having 4 lines each. Means total there are 5 stanzas and each stanza carries 4 lines. The poem has 5 stanzas having 4 lines each. Rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B. The poem is written very simply, helps us to identify the true friends and real happiness. The use of the figure of speech inversion is very powerful. For example, then felt I like a child that holds. When we learn the poem, we discussed about these poetic figures of speech, poetic devices. Then felt I like a child that holds. Much have I thought of life and sin. Repetition of O is also very significant. O. For example, O signifies positive effect and negative effect also. Style. Next, special features. Special features of the poem is its difference between the happiness of poor and rich. The special features of the poem is its difference between the happiness of poor and rich. So the poet states his own example of being a happier man with fewer real friends in his poverty than a joyless man during his wealthy times with many false friends. So the happiness of poor and rich, difference between this. The difference between their friends is also significant. The use of O at the end of three lines is expressive. It has a different expressions at a different context. In first line, it expresses sad tone, that is negative tone. In first line of first stanza, in first line, it expresses sad tone or negative tone of lacking something, but it has a tone of after this, means in fourth stanza, first line of fourth stanza, it has a tone of fulfillment. Next, that is moral, message or significance. Moral of the poem, message of the poem, significance of the poem. The poem teaches us to identify the difference between true and untrue friends. What is the message of the poem? The poem teaches us to identify the difference between true and untrue friends, means true and false friends. It also makes us aware of the human situation in which he or she gets the real happiness of the life. Ultimate objective of the life is to get real happiness of the life, and their money has no role. Ultimate, that is last objective of our life. What is the objective of our life? To get a real happiness. Okay, so it's a message of the poem. And last point, that is opinion. Opinion means view, your attitude, your opinion. I think, or according to me, that money is equally important in today's world. It's not a world of late 19th century or the world of early 20, but still I like the poem for its simplicity and expressions. It's not only about money, but it's about the way think. So try to understand the difference between these two. So this poem is so important in today's world. Try to understand its importance. So it's completed. Now you continues comprehensive questions and try to understand appreciation of a poem and solve all these questions. Okay, thank you.